Are those giant bags of potatoes?
Yes.
I have never seen such big bags of crisps in my life that they're selling in these little kiosks. They're like massive. How much does a bag of crisps that size cost?
This one? $20 maybe.
That's actually really expensive.
For this big one.
That's still really expensive.
Really?
Anyway, the road to the green zone is paved with crisps. This is Annie Slemrod reporting from Baghdad. Let's hear some Iraqi music. Real let's. While we're waiting. Who's this singer?
Muhammad Salim.
This is my first trip to Iraq. I've read and reported on the high cost of living and poor infrastructure here, but definitely not thought about a $14 massive packet of crisps. I'm Annie Slemrod, the Middle East editor for IRIN, a news agency that reports on humanitarian issues in regions that are often forgotten, underreported, misunderstood, or ignored. In the car with me is Omar, my colleague and educator on Iraqi music. We're driving to the Green Zone. That's where the government is. What day is it? Sunday.
Today's Sunday.
Today's Sunday, and we're driving to the Green Zone to meet with an MP, Rad al-Dahlaki. Rad al-Dahlaki chairs the Parliamentary Committee on Migration and Displacement. We've been trying to meet with him for the last few days. He's keen to meet with us too, but he's been pretty busy. Are we calling him?
Yeah.
He doesn't pick up. I want to interview him for the story that has brought me here to Iraq. In early 2014, fighters from the so-called Islamic State began to sweep through the country, and since then, an estimated 3.2 million people have fled their homes to escape the violence. Many cities have since been liberated, including major IS strongholds like Fallujah and Ramadi. But as far as I understand, not many people have been able to return to their homes. I've heard allegations of corruption, that people have to pay bribes to go back, and there are problems with security and sectarian issues. There's a lot going on in Iraq that people aren't really talking about, at least not outside the country. So that's why I'm hoping that by actually being here, I'll be able to gain an understanding of what's really going on. That'll take a lot of meetings, and I hope I'll get to know the country a bit better when I'm actually able to get out. Oh good, that electricity just went off. I mean, not off, just that sound. Sorry. It's my second night in Baghdad. I got here last night at about 9:30 in the evening. I haven't actually got to do much reporting yet, as I am inside this sort of secure compound. I am able to walk up and down one little section of a street. Because of security, most foreign journalists don't just rock up to Baghdad and take a hotel. You need a place that's reinforced, has guards, and is in a safe area of town. I'm staying in an old house on a closed street. All the main press agencies and papers have offices and houses here. But at the moment, it's pretty empty, as most reporters are out covering the battle in Mosul, Islamic State's last stronghold in Iraq. That might be why I was able to get a room on such short notice. I came here really last minute because it took me quite a while to get a visa, and by the time I actually got my passport with the visa in it, I found out I had about a week and a half left. So, I came to Baghdad for the first time. Somewhat last minute. It doesn't feel like the type of trip you want to do last minute, but I think we're going to make it work. By the time I actually landed in Baghdad, I had only 8 days left on my visa. Not a lot of time to do everything that I want to. But top of my to-do list was to visit some of the camps where IDPs, that's internally displaced people, are living. In particular, the desert camps of Amrat al-Fallujah. They're fairly close by, but a bit of a hassle to get to, because they're in Anbar province. Anbar is across the Euphrates River and requires a permit, and there are security issues. Although Anbar's major cities, Ramadi and Fallujah, have been cleared of IS, other parts have not. Checkpoints are extremely common in Baghdad and on the drive to Anbar. I always have my recorder with me, but have to be careful when we pass them. Lots of checkpoints. We're about to go through another one, so I should probably put this down.
Yeah, put it down.
Okay. I put the recorder away because it probably would have been a hassle, and I didn't want it to seem like I was giving the soldiers trouble. We pull up, and Omar greets the guards.
Assalamu alaikum. الشجر He said from which tribe she is. I said from the tribe of blonde people. The Americans are blonde, and she's like, oh, okay, American. I know this joke.
A joke that would make a lot more sense if I had blonde hair. Baghdadis complain that checkpoints like these are annoying more than anything else. They cause traffic jams, and they don't make people feel safer. That might in part be because until fairly recently, police and soldiers were using these fake bomb detectors that looked like wands. They were sold by a British businessman, and it's been proven that they don't detect explosives. Everyone knows that, but they were still in use for a while after the fraud was uncovered. I'm on my way to the desert camp. That's the one I really wanted to visit. It's about an hour's drive from Baghdad. Out here, there's just road and sand. Some of the cars don't even have license plates. The first sign of life we see is some kids playing football. Then tents sort of come out of nowhere. Then a market. Then we take a left turn and we're inside. I can't see where the tents end. 50,000 people live here.
Okay, so do you want to start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Having survived life under IS and a punishing siege, many people from Fallujah walk through the desert to get to this camp. They left their homes and all their belongings. When we left everything, she's saying. We gave up our homes. There was shelling and rockets. We just wanted to escape. Truly, we sacrificed everything we had built. Everyone in this desert camp has a story like this, and everyone wants to go home. Saadia has henna-stained nails and smiles even when she says her home on the outskirts of Fallujah has been destroyed.
From people who went, told them that the house is destroyed completely, the car is taken, the furniture is taken, nothing is left, nothing to go back to.
So can you tell me why they want to go back? She says she'll happily sleep under the trees on her land if she has to. But returning home is complicated and politically fraught, tied up with past conflicts and sectarian divisions. Most of the people from Fallujah, Ramadi, and Anbar province as a whole are Sunni. They're a minority in the country, and also the same sect as IS. That means they come under a lot of suspicion, and many of their hometowns were also once Al-Qaeda strongholds. That's why it now takes a security clearance for the displaced to go back home. It's like a visa, and can be tough to come by. Saadia, for example, hasn't been able to get permission, although she denies her family has ties to IS. Plus, in some places, rebuilding has hardly begun, and work is hard to find. So these people remain here in limbo. Many say they feel forgotten. As I walk around the camp, people approach me from everywhere, asking for help or wanting me to share their stories. One woman shows me the ID card of a male relative who's been missing for several months. She wants to know if I can publish his name. A young boy is ushered to stand in front of me. His relatives lift his shirt to show me raised scars all over his abdomen. He has black speckles that look like shrapnel in his cheeks. They say he lost his mother in one of the battles the Iraqi army and its allies fought with the Islamic State. His father is still missing. Others never made it out of the fighting. 63-year-old Fizza's youngest son was killed. One of my children died in battle, he says. He was very young, my little boy. He was in the 4th grade. Fizza says that at least they're safe here. Conditions in this camp have improved. When most people arrived here in June, they were packed tightly into huge tents like sardines in a tin. Those white shells now stand empty. Residents have their own smaller tents or prefabricated units, which is better protection against the elements than what others have. Most of Iraq's displaced people don't actually live in official camps like this. At a mosque I visited in Baghdad, there were families living just on the edge of its immaculate garden. They'd built makeshift shelters out of all sorts of stuff: tarps, blankets, pieces of wood, whatever they could find. Its residents pointed out that it's hardly weatherproof. And of course, it rained that night. Yesterday, Baghdad had its first rain in months. I found it extremely refreshing. I was sitting on the roof of the house here. I stayed outside and I enjoyed it. But they had said to me earlier in the day, when it starts raining, when winter comes, what are we going to do? And it's true. There's no way that these shelters will keep them dry. There's no way. And that was difficult to see. And as usual, I mean, as a journalist, it's something I come across. I think a lot of journalists come across this. I felt fairly helpless. Yeah, I did. Everyone's focus is further north, on the Mosul offensive. That's because the fight there could finally finish off IS in Iraq. But as I found out, the story of Iraq's displaced people doesn't just end when cities are liberated.
Let's try calling al-Dahlaki again.
I eventually did meet with the MP, Rad al-Dahlaki, in his Green Zone flat. He's furious and thinks the government is ignoring the displaced at the country's peril. I also spoke with other leaders, tribal sheikhs who are frustrated, and representatives of the government, which says it's doing all it can with limited resources. Eventual military victory in Mosul seems likely, and it would spell the end of IS in Iraq. But it's what happens afterwards. To these uprooted people in Baghdad and millions like them across Iraq, that really holds the key to a proper and lasting peace. I'm Slemrod for IRIN News, reporting from Baghdad, Iraq.